Your business could be losing thousands of dollars in revenue if you're not taking advantage of cold email. Now, as somebody that's scaled businesses from both paid ads and cold email, I think most businesses are sleeping on the opportunities of cold email, especially if your offer is business to business. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why you should think about cold email for lead generation for your business. I'm going to give you the steps you have to go through to set it up for your business, and then some common mistakes that many people make. So make sure you stay at the end so you don't miss out these mistakes and mess up your lead generation campaigns. Subscribe to this video for more content on sales conversion and lead generation that can help your business grow. So why cold email? As somebody that's used paid ads and cold email, I can say that paid ads are great. I've worked with companies that we've grown their revenue from 30K a month to 300 to 400K a month through paid ads. But yeah, obviously paid ads are expensive. You have your targeting you set up, your costs tend to rise over time as more competition comes on them. Everybody's fighting over the same keywords. And ultimately your metrics, like your cost to get a new call, your cost per impressions, they tend to rise over time. So you're constantly having to come up with new campaigns, you're testing them. Even the most advanced lead gen agencies, marketing agencies, don't know if an ad's gonna work until they test it. So you're spending money to test it. With cold email, on the other hand, you have fixed cost. It's gonna cost you about $6 to $7 to set up an email account. Per account, you're gonna be able to send 100 emails a day. So with just one account, you're gonna be able to send 100 of emails a day, including your follow-up. But just for a few dollars more, you can add more emails, and you have fixed costs as you scale up your messaging each day. I think you could also be a little more intent on the targeting. You can target by business, you can target by industry, location, revenue, employee count, if they've been funded recently, job titles. You can get a lot more granular in the intent, and you can talk to the specific people within a company that is relevant to your data. When you target on ads, you're talking about subjects or keywords, and then they just show it to anybody that's showing an interest in that. So you might be showing your content, your advertisements, to a large percentage of people that aren't actually in your ICP, your ideal customer profile. So you can be a lot more intent on your targeting with email, and by getting a good leads list and properly verifying and validating all the data on it, you can be sure you're in the inbox of the exact person you want to talk to. You can also do higher levels of personalization. You can actually segment your list, and you can send out different messages to different roles, different companies, different sub-industries, different locations. You can be a lot more intentional with the data, and you can even use a lot of the sending softwares. You can actually merge the data into your list, and you can set up the scripts so that they pull in specific data so that the messages they receive sounds like you're talking to that person. You're able to make it sound like you're having a conversation that was geared just towards that one person, but do it all through automation and tools to get a lot higher of a response rate. You're not able to basically send out 20 different versions of ads when you're doing paid advertising and have a different message for specific people. You can set up different ad creatives and target different groups, but you can be a lot more intent and a lot more granular with your targeting and your personalization based upon the way you segment your list and set up your automations. So let's go into the steps that you need in order to set up a successful email lead generation campaign. The first thing you're gonna have to be very clear is choosing your ICP. ICP, as I said earlier, is your ideal customer profile. When I actually have clients come on to me, that's one of the first things I do. I send them an intake form that makes them ask a lot of questions about their ideal customer profile, both the company and the people they're targeting within that company. And it gets very granular. It talks about their pain points, what their goals are, what their company structure is, what kind of divisions they have, what industries they serve, what's their top product. You just really want to get as much data and be as clear as you can on the type of person you're targeting and the type of business you're targeting. I had a client come on board, and he said he went after local service businesses. And after coaching him and talking to him, we had to narrow it down. And so we specifically chose to target local roofing companies and local HVAC companies. By segmenting these lists and being a lot more clear on the type of business we're going to target, we can be a lot more personal in our communication. So it all starts with having a really clear ICP. You also need to have a really clear understanding of your campaign goals. Are you sending these emails to generate leads? Are you trying to schedule demo calls? Are you actually just trying to drive website traffic? The way you write your emails and the type of campaigns you run is going to be based upon the objectives you have for those emails. Every single email you send in a lead generation campaign should have a call to action and a clear objection you're trying to achieve. So you need to be clear on what that is so you can target the message to try to get that response out of a certain percentage of the people you end up in their inbox for. The next step is going to be to build a high quality list. There's numerous options out there to build a high quality list to send emails to. There's database tools like Apollo or ListKit, the one that I use. There's using things like LinkedIn Sales Navigator. There's scraping tools for websites. You can scrape individual websites or Google business listings or white pages or yellow pages. There's many options out there to get the emails and to build a list. But once you build that list, you want to verify the emails. There's hundreds of tools out there. There's many tools out there that they'll verify the emails, because the last thing you want to do is have an unverified email, get a high spam rate or a high bounce rate, and you ruin your domain reputation. After that, you're going to craft your emails. What is that initial message? I highly recommend A/B testing at the beginning, writing out 2 or 3 different versions of different subject lines and different hooks in your opener and different value points, and seeing what the data tells you. Just like with ads, when you're running them out, there's no way to know exactly which angles and which messaging, which copy is going to be the thing that gets the highest responses. So you test multiple things at one time, you allow the data to tell you, and then you continually try to improve and optimize. That's going to take us to also as you're doing your email campaigns and you're building out the emails, you want to figure out how many times you're going to follow up with somebody before you drop them as a lead, and on what cadence you're going to do that. You send your initial message, but people are busy, and there might be a lot of people that would respond to you, but they just ignored the message because they didn't recognize your name. So how often are you going to send follow-ups, and what are those follow-ups going to look like? After that, you're going to want to monitor and optimize your campaigns. Data is power. You're going to want to track things like your open rates, your response rates, what's your positive response rates, how many calls do you book after a campaign. Things like that will tell you where to dig in and where to improve. If you're getting bad open rates, it's probably something with your deliverability. If you're getting a high open rate, but you're not getting a lot of demos booked or a lot of calls booked or website traffic, it's probably something in your messaging. Having the data will allow you to hone in on the exact things, and just like any kind of lead generation campaign, it's all about continual optimization. If you're getting good response rates, good open rates, but they're getting through to your website and they're not converting into a thing, you probably have an issue on your landing page because they're not booking an appointment. So you're getting them from the email to your landing page, and then you're failing to convert them there. So having that data will allow you to make a better decision and to figure out where you need to spend your time. Let's talk about mistakes to avoid. There's probably 4 different mistakes that I see a lot of people making this. The first thing is they just open up an email and they just start sending. That's the quickest way to destroy your reputation and destroy your domain reputation. And what you're going to want to do is when you set up an email campaign, you're going to want to open up a new domain, something tied and related to your main domain. That way, if it gets burnt, you're not losing your reputation on your main website. And then you have to warm up those emails. The best way to do it is use a sending tool. Most of them have email warm-ups in there. 2 of the main ones are SmartLead or Instantly. I personally use SmartLead. You can set up all your domains, and after you do that, you put them into your sending tool and you put them on a warm-up sequence for at least 14 days. This will allow them to build up a reputation, to mimic normal human email patterns, and to avoid being put into spam. After that, as you start sending, you want to avoid spam triggers. Things like using excessive capitalization or a lot of exclamation points or spammy words. There's lists out there. You just by doing a quick old Google search, you're going to be able to figure out which words typically trigger spam warnings. You just want to make sure you avoid those in your copy so that you don't show up and ruin your reputation of your domain. After that, the third thing that I see people doing is they go straight for the ask. If you spend any time on social media and you check your DMs, you're probably seeing all the time that people just go straight for the sale. You need to lead with some kind of value. People respond to value. So if you have a valuable case study or you have a YouTube video that's a good resource, or you build some kind of lead magnet, like a checklist, you want to lead with some kind of value, because when you tend to give something valuable to someone else, they're more likely to trust you when it comes time to pay. But after that, probably the last mistake I see people making in this space is that they don't respect opt-outs. Most of the sending tools have an unsubscribe or opt-out button on it. That's actually required by law, but you're gonna wanna respect that. You're gonna wanna have a way when somebody says to stop or they give an indication that they're not interested and they don't appreciate the emails, you get them onto a do not contact list and you avoid contacting them in the future. So that's basically a quick guide of why your business should be using cold email for lead generation strategies. I've personally seen people booking 7 to 10 additional meetings with a 30% close rate, and they can add thousands of dollars to their bottom line revenue month after month. And the higher you scale, the more emails you have and the more you can send, the higher that number can get. And you can do it in a very cost-effective manner. So hope you found this video valuable. Make sure to subscribe. And if you want help setting up your email campaigns, you can click the link below.